the international, well, I would say, a generation, an international concern that in this generation of ours, people are more attached to their mobile phones or to their smartphones than anything else. It is more of a secret than the secrets we used to have. Someone feels more confident when you don't tamper with their smartphones than anything else. So when you look at that, it is the same reason as to why data has become so important than even some of the assets among the young generation. So they believe if you have a GB with you, you're rich enough to control the world for a day. That is why you can see many Ugandans do make a lot of noise on social media platforms, but when you put them on ground, it becomes very difficult. But let's continue with the discussion to do with the internet and all to do with the data bundles that most of you do love. I do understand even currently people are already surfing onto the internet and they've already loaded very huge monthly GBs to take them through the month of March. Well, let's now talk about the causes of the slow internet in Uganda.
Yeah, I think it's a very, the objective is speed, and the challenge is and the challenge that you're putting to me is why there are slow speeds. We have enough capacity to serve everybody as quickly as they would want to, but the current structure of the way we do give access to people is we give you in tiers. We say this is 1 GB, this is 10 GB, this is just a promotional plan, and there are different experiences on every one of them. If you go to check the user experience on the several plans, you'll find out that the experience is different. Now, there are people who, because you've asked it in a very broad plan, corporate customers, they don't subscribe to bundles, they subscribe to bandwidth. Okay. So I dedicate a channel to them, and they have an application in their office that says, what does my usage look like, almost in real time. And even when I contract them, I even give them what we call a service level agreement. We give them service level agreements. We tell them this internet will be available to you 100% of the month. You will never wake up, it's ubiquitous. What we say ubiquity is, when I pick up my phone like this, I expect that if I call someone, the phone will go through. Probably their phone is switched off the other side, but it must go through. So I don't even think about it that I will pick up my phone to call and it will not go through. You don't even think about it because it doesn't happen anyway. So even for bandwidth, for our bandwidth, there are people who subscribe to bandwidth. And bandwidth, we say, what's your need? I have 100 people within this organization. Then I'll ask you, what do you do? Now that's what we call sizing your network. What do you do? I'm a TV station like this one. Okay, what are the structures of the people that need internet most? At what time do they need it? Most. When is your peak? Then we can come and put tools in here, open up your pipe, see when you have peak usage, and we say, that's the number. That's the number that you need to have good user experience. Now, then the question comes from the technical assessment or the sizing assessment, and then it goes into the affordability. Then if you can't afford, then we say, oh, you give me half, and then I'll manage my people to spread their usage within a period of time. So the subjectiveness is not that there is no bandwidth, it is that people don't size what they need. They just buy, they do not even arm themselves with knowledge on what they use monthly, like I've been talking to you. The power is out of us as service providers. Say for telecommunications, currently, I have been checking my phone. If I go to settings of my phone, I have an Android phone. I don't know what the iPhone users are, but if I go
we all have Android here.
Yes, if I go to, if right now I go to settings, I'll see Wi-Fi and network. When I go to Wi-Fi and network, I'll see data usage. And since morning, I can see actively
You're
see
able
how
to
many.
track.
Yes, I can see. I bought a bundle, but I've used 100 MB out of it.
Okay.
Since
Why
morning.
can't I do that too?
So you can do that. You go to your settings. You go to once you go to your settings, you see Wi-Fi and network. You tick on it, and then you'll see data usage.
Then what happens if I'm using Wi-Fi of a particular entity, that means it's the user, or does that mean that the user is the one to track that?
No.
Or I can track that too?
You can also tap that too, because if you see on top there, you can see your SIM and network, and then you can see mobile data there, and then you can see also Wi-Fi data, how much you use. Then it's on your phone for you to see.
Okay.
And now I can say that for people who feel pinched by these bundles that are for paying, government has been gracious as well. There is NITA My UG free at 6 in the evening.
That is why I wanted to actually ask, what
Free-
happened to the free internet that the government had promised some time back?
It is there. At 6, you go to My UG within Central Business District in Kampala and in Entebbe. In Central Business District, you see that My UG.
I've seen it
will
around
be
the
for free.
flyover in Kajansi. Once you reach there,
Yes.
and you have your Wi-Fi notifications on,
Yes.
you receive some notifications.
Exactly.
That is
So
in the
six-
at midnight?
6 p.m. to 6
In the
a.m.
evening.
And then on Friday it is 3 p.m. through Friday.
Is it as effective as our normal Wi-Fi?
So it's working only around...
Central Business District.
Okay.
It's a good start, isn't it?
Wait, if I'm here, can I receive it on a Friday?
Please try.
It's only for Fridays.
Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Please try and complain after trying.
Oh.
But you've not tried.
So you can try to use government data that is from Friday up to maybe Sunday from 6. You will see My Uganda,
My UG.
My UG.
Not people in Jinja, though. Now people around the central
Yes,
business
Central
district.
Business District
That means
and Entebbe.
for my people in Buhikwe, we're still supposed to go and buy internet.
If you go above, and I would say that for people who have a pinch on especially data bundles, please offload these updates on your phone, all these updates that come for almost all kinds of applications that are on your phone. The moment you go for Wi-Fi, please update as quickly as you can. Then you will go into those apps and then disable the updates until you have the next chance to be under Wi-Fi. Then your data bundles will only be used for the things that you really are really important to you. If it's for money, then let it be used for, probably you have an online shop. Let it be used for people putting orders to you, and it is not being used for updates of your phone. And then there are some people who are very bad, not very bad, but who are very generous.
Okay.
And then they tether, is it called tethering?
Yes,
Or
hotspot.
you do a hotspot on your phone. Now the person who is receiving the hotspot is actually receiving Wi-Fi. They are not receiving, they don't see it as mobile data.
Yes.
They see it as
Someone has
Wi-Fi.
shared,
Wi-Fi.
has added them
so
to the
their
band.
phone or their computer will update, Windows will update
On your data.
You understand? So, but what if you're going to do a hotspot, what you should do is that when you do the hotspot, there is a function there which says it's a metered connection. The moment you tick metered connection, then even the person who is receiving will not be able to do those updates. Then you will...
Even when I have got a password in that, does the person receive it directly?
No, you'll definitely have to share the
Okay, then.
But I have to put a disclaimer also for free internet access. There are issues with free internet access. There are hackers. So there could be hackers. Because of its free use, there is almost everybody who is probably scanning to see who is on it. So I say, please, if you go there, do best practice. Best practice for free internet usage is that do not log on to your banking application unless it's on VPN. Unless you first
That means you
connect,
need to connect to VPN.
Yeah, so it
You
has
travel to Netherlands.
HTTPS. Do not order your tickets and put your credit card there if it is free Wi-Fi.
The good thing with
Please only do
VPN, you
it
can
on
even
secure.
travel to Ukraine now or Russia.
And then maybe if you could shine a light towards the blockage. At least we have seen, we're still on a blockage on social media, especially on Facebook around here. Without a virtual network, you may not actually tap onto Facebook. Maybe if you could help us understand, as this comes along, how does government integrate that system or connections together? Because there were scenarios where some Ugandans were saying, no, government did not do anything, didn't do Facebook, so there was no way to block us. So if you could try to make us understand, where does it come in? That blockage around there.
I think it's a little bit of a political question, and I am not a political representative. But let me say this: we are a nation, we are a state, and anything that will harm us, I think security will be first paranoid, and then they will say, let's see what is safe for our population, for people to be. I think you can see the state of Ukraine right now. Once anything that, you could see the bombings that were here the other time. What if those people used Facebook to gather around? What would we do? But I would want to say this: government has also done a lot of work in trying to have the right tools, not to block everybody ever since that incident, not to block everybody, but to be able to understand where threats are coming from.
Okay.
So I think those scenarios that you're mentioning right now, the society and ourselves have not been sitting down, government and the regulator, and I should say I should applaud the regulator, UCC. We've gone a long way in seeing that safety, even with open access to social media. I'll tell you, social media has brought down governments. There are rogues.
Yes.
There are rogues that can go there, begin to create turmoil within countries. Okay. We should have a way that regulation happens, and regulation is good. Safety first to all of us, and then openness to everybody. But I should say, most of the social media platforms are open.
All right, Mr. Godfrey, as we are summing up with this discussion in a minute, can you sum up this? How many licensed internet service providers do we have in the country, and also what is UCC doing to ensure that Ugandans access cheap internet?
Now, UCC and probably government and all the internet service providers. First, this country works on a market economy. Is that we have price competition almost amongst 20 and above, 22 and above internet service providers here, meaning that price competition gets the right price to the customer. You see all these incentives being put into the market. This one comes with a bundle at this price, another comes with a bundle into this price. There is no in the market. You people, the users are actually demanding, and the internet service providers are coming to you. What is government doing? There are a lot of programs. There is the Rural Communication Development Fund, which we all contribute to as service providers, for government to be able to take services to people who can't afford, in Karamoja, in Kidepo, in Kitgum, that cannot afford those services, but they are taken to those people for free sometimes, with that money being given. So there is a lot of initiative being done in development. Even our licenses currently, the licenses that we have mandate us to have 90% geographical coverage of a country. So every service provider is mandated within the region that you're licensed. It is now put on you before you're given a license. Can you cover 90% of a country? So what is government doing? It is doing it through the regulation. It's doing it through legal regime and all the other regions. We have challenges like taxation, but I think probably another time we will talk.
All right. Now, the number of licensed companies?
Yeah, we gravitate because there are people being licensed almost within periods. But I think the last count I have is about 22, 23.
Okay.
Okay, maybe if you could share with us your last count as I conclude on this one towards the generation in terms of income through internet. What has it contributed so far, if we're to talk?
Oh my God, let me say this.
In terms of money and
in
cost,
terms of
financial,
money,
yes,
let me say this. We have some of the best taxpayers. I think MTN just paid $100 million, isn't it? And all the other telecommunications companies pay in millions in taxes as payers. In other taxes, we pay excise duty 12%. We pay VAT. We pay as you earn. We pay like any business a lot of tax, and so we generate a lot of tax.
Okay then.
Yeah.
All right, and that is Godfrey Serankoko, who is the chairman of the Internet Service Providers Association of Uganda. Many thanks for joining us. I do guess we shall have more of an intensive discussion regarding the same matter.
And thanks for having me.
Okay.
Yeah.
And well, with that, we are heading into our sports business to look at some of those top stories that have been making headlines from the world of sports.